So we have two fellows here to tell us about Anchor Bible College. Daniel, Elijah, what do we have?
Yeah, well, we have some exciting announcements to share. So let's see if we can do the clicker thing. Cool. So 3 new and exciting announcements. The first that I can tell you about, new transfer credit opportunities, and I'll show more on a slide in just a minute. Yeah, you want the microphone. New fall classes, and I'm excited to highlight a few of those, and then new Anchor class locations. So a few exciting things to share. The first, the new transfer credit opportunities. And you are not supposed to memorize everything that is on this map. This map is simply highlighting a few key colleges and universities that Anchor credits can now transfer to, guaranteed. You won't notice some of the most elite universities here. They're rather snobby about transfer credit. But you will notice a lot of institutions that accept a lot of transfer credit, especially online type things. You'll notice places like Liberty University or Arizona State, or homeschoolers I think are familiar with Thomas Edison State University. There's a lot of ones here that are highlighted that guarantee transfer credit because of something we've done with a review from something called the National College Credit Recommendation Service, which came a couple months ago and did a very detailed review of all of our classes and said, yep, this looks like college material. And so then they're happy to share that with all of the institutions that recognize them as an authority on that. So, and if there's another institution that's not on this map, it very likely may transfer, especially if it's a smaller college that might not publish guaranteed transfer on their website, but have a policy that would include this. So if you have questions about this, I am glad to share more, but I wanted to tell you all this awesome update. And then about classes this fall, there are 9 key classes that we have planned, and I don't have, yeah, you're excited about all of them. I don't have time to tell you all the details about all of them, but I'll highlight a few of them that are new. One, you'll see in the top middle there, it says Creeds, Councils, and Confessions. That's a course that originally was scoped a little differently and had a different name that we call Church History. But for a professor who's taught it a couple times before and is teaching it again, he teaches it in a way that we're glad to highlight its historical basis in the creeds and councils and confessions of Christian faith and the theological aspect of all of those. And so that's one that we want to highlight that may be a great one that's taught a little new and differently since it was originally offered. There's a couple of new 1-credit classes, one that's Patterns in Evangelism. So my dad will be teaching a course that has practical teaching and practical application of evangelism. And then another 1-credit that will follow that, Women in the Bible, which I think will be an awesome one. Elijah's not interested in that one. Okay. Well, some of you may be interested in that one. And then finally, a new and exciting announcement, new Anchor class locations. So you'll see here, of course, Hope Community Church, and this is where the majority of our classes are happening. But starting this fall, there are 2 church locations where we plan to offer a class. So you'll see there Solid Rock Bible Church in Plymouth and Community Bible Church in Trenton. And so this is where we are sending one of our Anchor instructors to that location and advertising it to all of you and to all of the folks in that church and really the broader community, trying to have strategic locations and meeting the local church where it's at to have this kind of training. So I'm excited to share all of those things. Just to recap, just the mission of what we're doing of transformative spiritual growth, high-quality biblical education, recognized certificates and degrees, and of course, something I highlighted today, transferable college credit. So those classes are published on the website. Registration is open for this fall. If you have questions,